Good morning. Ready to go. So, just to start, I think it's important as a fan of Liverpool Football Club that we acknowledge they're great and that they're the champions. Sorry, just needed to get that out of the way. Good morning, everyone. Here I am. If you're expecting to see Graham, bit of a change of plan this week. So you're stuck with me today and Thursday. Now tomorrow, we start 1st of July. We start our month of prayer, and so that's exciting. So we look forward to doing that. And because of that, when our month of devotionals, we're going to be pausing the Psalms, and we're going to be doing our devotions throughout July on prayer. Seemed relevant. But so today I'm going to do a psalm, and then we're going to kick into something else. As I say, from Thursday, which will be with me again. So this morning I'm going to talk to us about Psalm 66. And Psalm 66, great psalm of praise. It really is. It says at the start, this is a song, a psalm of praise, and it really is worth singing about. But there's there's two or three real verses I want to concentrate on talking to you about this morning, because it's quite a long psalm. I'm not going to read it through today. And the two main verses I'd like to concentrate on are verses 5 and verses 16. Now, if you know me, you'll know I like history. In fact, I do tend to bore people intensely with historical, trivia, shall we say. And Psalm 66 is incredibly significant in terms of history, because the first telegraph message that was sent was the two verses I just mentioned from Psalm 66. Mr. Morse, I can't remember his first name, that's why I paused, and I didn't want to give him the inspector's first name. But Mr. Morse, he sent his first telegraph message. He sent verse 5, and it was, "Come and see what God has done." And the replying message was verse 16, which was, "Come and see what God has done for me." And that's them two statements, that answer and actual, that call and that answer are the two things really I want to concentrate on this morning. And they're two, actually, although they sound incredibly similar statements, I believe they're incredibly different statements. If we look at "come and see what God has done," I wrote down a quote for this. It was Mr. Einstein. It was attributed to Mr. Albert Einstein, shall we say, for accuracy purposes. And he said this, he says, "There is two ways of looking at life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle." So, the way I see it, when I get up this morning, and when I look at the world, I can look at it as a miracle, and I can actually say, when I look around me, wow, look what God has done. I can look at the sunrise, I can see the trees, I can see the grass, I can see the hills. Don't see the mountains around here, but if I do see them, I can see the mountains, I can see the stars, the cosmos. I can see it in the animals, the creation, the insects, in the lives of different people around me, in the immense creativity and amazingness of the human body. And I just think of so much of how we are, awesomely made, wonderful and awesomely made. And it's miraculous. And I can look around at so much of the world on a daily basis. I can choose to, and there is a choice there involved. And look at the world and say, wow, look what God has done. Look what God has done every day of my life. Look what God has done in creation throughout the world. The miraculous that we're even able to be here. Now, somebody else might come to me and they might say, yeah, well, I've got different reasons for that. I don't think it's very miraculous. They can be, like Einstein said, they can choose to see nothing as a miracle. They can choose to say, actually, that's because of something else. But then there's that other answer, isn't there? The first 16 answer, which says, come and see what God has done for me. And that's different, isn't it? It's very different. It's not looking about, and it's not about actually attributing something to God. It's actually my experience of God and what he's done in my life. My life has been changed by the reality of Jesus Christ. My life has been changed by God. I've seen it. I've experienced it. It is a reality for me. It's truth and it's exciting. Somebody else coming into contact with that, well, you know what? Sorry, you can't argue with that. That's everything that I felt. That's everything that's happened to me. You can argue about who you think made the stars, but you can't argue about my experience and what God has done in my life. That happened to me. That's said, this is a psalm of praise. That's worth singing about. This psalm finishes with this verse 20. It says, praise be to God who has not rejected my prayer or withheld his love for me. And that's the truth. That's the truth of life that we can run with every day. The truth that I can look around and see what God's done, and I can remember what God has done for me. And he's continuing to do that. He answers my prayer. He hears my voice. This God of this great creation hears my voice. But this God of this great creation is also doing a personal work in me and is personally changing me. Sometimes, and I've seen it in the past, where sometimes we can picture God as when Jesus came and he died on the cross. It's like he sort of came halfway to us. And then all we've got to do is work the other halfway up. And it's like, that's rubbish. Sorry. But it is. Jesus did it all. Jesus did it all. All he does is stand in front of us and say, here I am. I'm not withholding my love. My arms are wide open. I've done it all. And in that acknowledgement, in that choosing to follow, that change starts. And we can start to see what God has done in our lives and what he continues to do. So that's the exciting challenge we have today. Let's look at this day and this week and this month of our lives and look what God has done. Let's look around us with eyes wide open. Look what God has done. Be inspired by that. Be excited about this is the God of the daisy. This is the God of the supernova. And this is my God. Look what God has done for me. And I know, and if you follow Jesus, I'm telling you, you know what God has done for you. Remind yourself of that today. And let's run forward knowing he hears our prayers. He doesn't withhold his love. And run with today. And I'll look forward to seeing you well, you'll see me on Thursday. All right. Have a lovely day, everyone. Goodbye.